always takes crazy pictures. Well, hello there, folks, and welcome to another episode of Talk Freely. Yay! And I'm your host, Mr. Reese. So today I have another weed for you, as usual, something new. And today the name of our marijuana is called Wiz Khalifa. Okay, I've heard of this weed, and I've been waiting on my chance to get some, so I got some. I never had none. This is my first time trying it, but I have heard the hype about it. So let's see. Oh, before I get started, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up and a like. I'm trying to get 10,000 likes and thumbs up before the end of the year, so I need your support on that. Please check out our other shows on Anchor and Spotify. New way to do it with Reese and Soul Time with Country and Mr. Reese. You can catch those on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, Anchor, Spotify, iHeart, Overcast, Radio Public, Pocket Cast. Damn, that was almost all of them. But you can catch us on them channels on the podcast channel. Also, I have my t-shirts. Got the design, so I'm working on that already. I've got the Patreon and not the Patreon, the Cash App and PayPal. I got it set up, so you'll be seeing that soon. Let me see. I don't know. If I left anything out, you can remind me. So let's get to the weed. Sweet, nice, sweet smell. Good smell. I can't identify anything, but here, take a look. I'm trying to see. It just looks like it's just all green to me. Well, there's a hint of red in it. I'll show you if you can see it from there. See that? That's called Wiz Khalifa. It's got a good texture to it. I was just breaking it down. It's not sticky. It's not gummy. Breaks down pretty easily into clumps, not into powder or dust. I like it. Texture is up there already. So let's smoke some weed. Let's smoke some Wiz Khalifa. Ain't that a name of a rapper or something? Because I keep hearing that name over and over. I'm not familiar with a lot of people. Even though I grew up in the music industry, believe it or not, mother and father both in the music. But I think I've heard his name before. Yeah, I've heard his name before. I ain't gonna say I think I've heard his name. I just don't know what he made, and if I do, I don't know it by heart. So I want some water, and I'm out of water, folks. Dang it! Don't want pop. I'll get some water when I finish. Okay, so let's light the joint. Nice taste. That was unexpected. Wow, got a kick right off the bat. Whew, okay. That's why I should have had some water. It takes too long to go get some. I'll be waiting forever. Woo, man. Maybe just because I just need. Well, I'm gonna have to drink something. Let's see if that was a fluke. It went out. It's got a smooth taste. It didn't seem like it would go down and hit you like that. Good taste, mellow, smooth, and chokeability, man. This shit gonna have you barking. It's already, it's got me. I just, what, 2, 3 tokes into the damn joint? But I have been hearing rumors. I heard some people say the weed wasn't shit, and I heard some people say the weed was really good. So for right now, it's, it's okay to me. But it does have a good, nice aroma too. Aroma. So this is an OG. It's called Wiz Khalifa, and it must be he's growing his own stuff because I heard Mike Tyson. Well, I didn't hear. I actually saw Mike Tyson. He got his own dispensary and growing and shit. You know, and it's funny how celebrities, you know, can get away with that kind of stuff. But I bet you, as normal everyday people couldn't do it. Excuse me, folks. We got me. Woo, that's strong stuff. I need this because I'll probably be up all night tonight. This is nighttime as we speak now, folks. Probably around 11 o'clock. Let's see, 10:48, and I'm usually up till shit 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes working and sometimes thinking. I do a lot of thinking, but the weed goes down good. It's strong. It's gonna sit on your chest. It really is. It's good weed. I like it. This is deep smokers weed, fantasy weed right here. Wiz Khalifa. I like this a lot. This is how you blow before you know it. This is how you blow before you know it. You be all silly and stuff actually. But I do like it. It's got me coughing. I hate the coughing part. But whew, I'm out of here. Excuse me, folks. You're gonna see a lot of this with this kind of weed. Ooh. All right, I gotta cool off. Remember I asked in one of my videos, do men have hot flashes? I come to think we do. Okay. See, I'm not bald headed, folks. Just in case you thought I was. I'm not bald. Oh, shit. Not yet. Okay. That feels good. I tell you, I got a fan on me. All right. This Wiz Khalifa is deadly. Okay, it's some deadly stuff, folks. Soon, I guess Country will be back soon. He's in Florida now. Traveling all across the country and shit like aristocrat or something, you know. But he's on his honeymoon right now. So we wish him the best on his honeymoon. Hope you have a long and happy marriage. Because happiness is one of the hardest things to get in this life, man. You know, it really is. Remember I told you folks in some of my couple of episodes back that you can heal yourself and you can even program your brain for happiness. You want to know how to do it? It works, but for a lot of people, it's not going to work. You know why? Because they're not going to be consistent enough and they don't know what to ask for. So a lot of things may come their way and they may jump on the first thing that comes their way. But if you're persistent and you program the brain to do exactly what you want to do, you put the kind of person in your head. I mean, well, it depends on happiness because happiness is not really brought to you by a person. So, say if you want happiness, say if you want your happiness is for a lot of people, it's money. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know why people think money is going to make them happy. But anyway, just say uh, $1 million. Say $1 million will make me happy. And you say that in your head over and over and over every day, all day, every day. And you put it in your subconscious and say it back there. And then you do have to make little steps. So apparently that's gonna be a goal for you. So whatever steps you make for that goal, because you just can't think about it, it's just gonna happen. Okay. Now when it comes to the body, it's different. But when it comes to material things, it's a lot more different. You sort of have to put it into the universe. It's me and my friend. See, me and Country are connected on a lot of things. We are kindred spirits when it comes to spiritual things and connectiveness and the universe and stuff like that. We argue a lot about it, but we basically think the same way. And when it comes to that type of stuff, I mean, there's other things we totally disagree on, but when it comes to that kind of stuff, we sort of agree on it. So that's how we became sort of akin to spirit on that. Plus, I used to work with him, we used to work together, so I knew him from that. You know, and I always knew he was a cool person. He rough around the edges, but he's probably one of the nicest people I've met 20 years. That's honest. He's rough with his ways, a rough honesty. But I would rather have a rough honesty than a soft bullshit. Okay? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have that. I like to know where you're coming from, not guessing. You know, yeah, but when it comes, because he believes in that too, he believes it. But he had a stroke about a year back. About no, maybe about okay. When we first hooked back up, he had already had the stroke, and it had been maybe 2 years since I had seen him since we had worked at this place, Kingston, Mass. So I didn't know he had a stroke and everything. So we hooked back up. I saw he had a stroke. And I was telling him about how I had mine, and actually, I had it while I was working here. Believe it or not, because I was eating all these hamburgers every day. I'm a hamburger holic, and they had some great hamburgers there. I mean, some of the best in the city. They have some of the best burgers in the city. I would not lie to you. I'm a burger holic. I used to go from place to place eating people's burgers. Who made the best burgers and shit. I don't do that anymore, but I used to since I had the heart attack. I eat a burger every now and then now, but I still eat too much red meat. But I'm a meat eater. I love meat, and just eating vegetables is really. I mean, if you're forced to eat them, you can eat anything if you're forced to eat it. But if you have your choice, you always gonna go against your choice, which is not always smart, But you only live once. I ain't saying cut your life short, but you only live once. If you can enjoy something and then let it go, then do that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So, like I keep telling you, the mind is the body's computer, and you can program yourself for happiness. You can program yourself to be happy. But to stay on what I was saying before, so you make those steps to get that $1 million. If you program your head enough and keep it in your head, it's like when people say, "I got a goal." That's basically the same thing. They're going for their goal in life, and this is what it takes to acquire that goal. It's the same thing. They focus, and by repeating that in your head, it helps you develop more focus. That's really what it does, But I think it's a more powerful way because when you put something out there into the universe, you know you you can also bring it back, and bring it back to you and have it come back to you. The universe is circular. I'm not no scientist or scholar, but if you look at everything else is circular. It only makes sense that the universe would be circular, not just a flat plane like some people think. Oh, it's another thing. Do you think that some of you people, do you actually think that the Earth is flat? I keep seeing this thing. Excuse me. I keep seeing this thing on TV. These people, they convinced that the Earth is flat, and haven't been outside the Earth, and most of us haven't, to say that they're right or wrong. But my theory is they're wrong. I truly think they're wrong because they claiming there's no rotation in the Earth, there's no gravity. Really, there's no gravity except for right there on in the Earth. Huh. If it's possible, true, but you don't. There's one fact that do support that theory. There's no real pictures, live action pictures of the Earth. You think they are, but they're all manipulated. There's no actual live action pictures from the Earth. And you see them, they're on satellite, and the satellite is always looking down. Well, it goes around the whole thing, but it never goes outside of that plainness of it. And I think that's why a lot of people think that the Earth is flat because you don't see the horizons when you're in space. You don't see the eastern or western horizon, and you don't get long shots from the Earth. You get shot, like I said, you get doctored shots where they tell you what they want you to. tell you what they think the Earth looks like or what they think the Earth looks like. But we've never seen any live action shots from space from the Earth. If you want to say the Apollo, what was Apollo 11 or Apollo 13 or something like that, that shot was. If you look at it, that black and white shot, it looked like some shit they made in the studio. You know, it don't look like it's the actual Earth, and then you can't see nothing. You know, so they have a working theory. I think it's wrong. You know, because like I said, I believe everything in the universe, everything is circular. Everything goes around, comes around. All the planets rotate around each other. It just would not make sense. And if the other planets are around, why would ours be flat? Because it supports life. That just don't make sense to me. So we're the oddity in the universe. You know, I'm just not. I'm not eating that one. And you can keep that one. I just can't think the Earth is flat because if it was, somebody would have fell off the edge by now. Somebody, fish would have went over to the other side or whatever, and somebody would have found something. Believe me. Those is white folks is shit. But back to the weed. Oh, so I can finish saying what I'm saying. So yeah, so the mind, you know, it's a very powerful muscle. It's the most powerful muscle in the body, believe it or not. You could build up your every muscle in your body, but it should never be as powerful as the brain. So people start wielding things to you. And it doesn't take I know a lot of people they go to collection. I made a comment and a cousin of mine, I made a comment about a couple of my last videos about the mantra. And my cousin, who's really very religious, sent me a thing about basically saying that you can't ask for nothing unless you ask for it through God. No, you're wrong. And whoever teaching you that is wrong. I hate people that don't read but just listen. And then when they do read, all they do is read what somebody that told them to read. So go read John's chapter 10, verse 13, and shit like that. And they take it out of context, and you will believe what they say because they take it out of context. And if you just do a little research, see, people don't, like I said, people don't like to read. They don't do the research. The Bible is not all the story. There are other books that even books that they left out of the Bible. See, people think the Bible was something that was made and put down here. No, it had been gathered for thousands of years. You know. And people they just don't seem to understand it. They think somebody subscribes who sat down and wrote the Bible, through inspiration from God and stuff. And I don't want to get into religion that much, but if y'all want to know y'all history, go read about Ken. Go read about the Sumerians and the Vegas. Nobody wants to go that far deep. Go see how close the Bible is to them stories. You know, unless they were manifested out the Bibles themselves, unless they were turned out the Bibles themselves. And go learn about the Council of what is it? Nicene or whatever it is. I can't think of the name of it right now. And see where the name Jesus came from, and see where the picture came from. People don't. If you're a black church and you got a picture of white Jesus in your church, you didn't misled your whole congregation. And I see people argue people down about it. And then you got these Israelite folks that standing on the corners threatening white people, because that's basically what they do. Which I don't think even that is a smart thing to do. To tell folks, well, even if it's true that they're condemned and the children of Esau and all that kind of stuff, or is it Jacob? No, Esau. Okay, and then the children of Esau and all that kind of stuff. What does it matter that you're gonna keep badgering that over the head to them? Believe me, the spirit knows. The spirit knows. They can pretend just like y'all can pretend all y'all want but all this stuff, folks, is out of fear of the Almighty. That's where it's coming from. It's fear of the Almighty. Because Well, white folks fear that, you know what, that shit could be true. And black folks, they in fear that it may not be true. But they hope it, and they going by this scripture to wish it's true. You know, but even without the scripture, folks, let me tell you, folks, it would happen anyway. The universe is certain. What goes around comes around. Earth is round. You know, karma exists. You know, so even if it wasn't written in the Bible, and I'm gonna tell you another thing. All of this 1,000 years ago, if I was alive 1,000 years ago, I could have predicted a lot of this stuff too. Because all you have to do is look at the progression of man and look at how they are at the time you are alive, and you just visualize it into the future. Like I can do it for you right now. Okay, we're in the year 2021. I would say in the year 5051, if it goes that far. Okay, let's go 30 years. So in the year 5051, you know, I still don't think there would be flying cars, which I've been told there'll be flying cars by the time. Like, I still don't think there'll be flying cars. There'll be some flying vehicles, but not on a massive scale like we think, like we see the Jetsons and that kind of shit. There's still gonna be racial disparity. The world is still going to go through turmoil. See the generation, you know. But the only thing about the Bible, it does specify in a lot more ways. But I mean, you can still generalize, you know, what you can see what happened if you looked at the progression of men. So if I looked at how men change in the next 10 years, next 10 years I can use that to evaluate what they're doing next year, unless there's something significant that changes mankind's thinking. Because if you go through the history, as far as you go back to the history, you know, and to tell you black folks, you know, see, when it comes to slavery and mistreatment and discrimination and stuff like that, oh yeah, we can sit on our grandy white horse for that. But nobody explains to you that if all the people in biblical time that lived in the Far East, in the Mid East, and in Africa were black people. Isn't that black on black crime? Then, if that's black on black crime, now we can separate them through, you know, through tribes, you know, but wasn't they still black people? We're not talking about when the Romans came and all that kind of shit. Before the Romans, you know, before the invasion of whites to Africa. And if we go by historical biblical effect, accounts, biblical accounts, you would see, and if you believe all those people was black people, it was black on black crime. And I never hear people talk about that. So if you look at it, black people have been defying God since the day He put us on earth. And they still haven't learned to bow themselves to Him. And if you really look at it, that's why the curse came about. You know, and people say the Jews, when people think about the Jews in biblical, they're thinking about European white Jews. They didn't exist then, y'all. Not over in Africa. There was no European white Jews over here. Them people had to be people of color. So if you want to call them Arabs, wasn't they in a whole different part of the world at that time? See, it's just logical thinking, folks. You know, it couldn't have been Arabs because isn't Arabs a derivative from the Indians and Middle Eastern people? So that had to be a mixture of thousands of years ago. You know, and the people want to talk about the Northern Africans and Algerians and all that kind of stuff. Those are transplanted people too. If you knew your history. So all that crime, the crucifixion of Christ, the wars, the death, the destruction, all this, that shit, that was black on black crime, folks. That was black on black crime. And it haven't stopped since. you know. So when you hear people tell you that I learned it from the white man and the white man taught me that, they're not telling you the truth. No, 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 folks. Your ancestors taught you. Yeah, there was a time that Africans didn't war, but it was a time they did. And if you go through and read the history, they wore a lot, killed thousands of people, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions over the thousands of years they was in Africa. You know, because like I said, everybody would think they would run around with, with lion skins on and axes. I mean, spears and shit. In some parts, yeah, but in some parts they were so civilized. Even today, it astonishes me. You see what I'm saying? So you have to get rid of that narrow view of what you think Africa is or what Africa was, because Africa was one of the most civilized civilizations in the world. The whites, all they did was copy it. They copied everything they could find. They were barbaric until they stepped up to the lands of Africa. They were still eating raw meat. You see what I'm saying? While these folks was making barbecues, they were still eating raw meat. Didn't even know how to season. You know, so what I tell people, really listen and watch what you learn and what you say and what you learn and what people say. Because they'll lead you down the line of bullshit, man. And like I say, these Israelites and stuff like that, they're very clever in what they do. You know, they keep to the scripture that talks about the people that they think that our people are the original Jews. And I think we're the original Jews too. Because if you look through history, there's really no other people that's experienced what we have experienced to the degree that we experienced it. I mean, the people have had slavery and abominations they've done to people and shit like that. But if you really look at our history, if we was to trace our history itself back, you would see a lot of us came directly from the line of Abraham. Directly. It can be traced back. And I also, before I go, I saw this documentary because I told you I love learning. So I saw this documentary. I guess it had been put away or something. It was from the 70s, and it wasn't never allowed on TV. And some guy had it on YouTube the other day, and it was fascinating because it was about these doctors that knew. Oh, they knew that they were making all these germs and stuff to destroy the African people, the African American people. They were out to destroy the African American people. And then they also found out that, you know what? We have 12 chromosomes and they only have 9. And he was saying they don't want people to know that because to have 12 chromosomes make you a superior race. There it is, folks. There's the absolute term. If you don't believe me, look it up. I don't know the name of it. I stumbled across it, but it was fascinating. I'm pretty sure you can find it. Just look up, I don't know, man discovers blacks have more DNA than whites. I don't know, but it was fascinating. And he was saying that and these was white scholars and white doctors that found the information out and wrote about it in these journals. And the journals wasn't allowed to be read; they were copywritten, so they wouldn't be read out in the public. And this dude somehow got a copy years ago and stored it away, but they had found out, so he had to pretend like he didn't have it, and he brought it out. I don't know what. I think that still is from the 70s. No, I think the interview is recent, but the paper itself is from the 70s because the two doctors that are there were black, and they had and they had read it and discovered, that most of the blacks here, you know, have 12 chromosomes in our DNA, and the whites only have 9. And the study was that those 12 chromosomes made us a superior race, a superior race. That's why we can do everything better than most people. That's why we can jump higher, run faster, hit the ball harder, think faster. That's why we are who we are. And they've been dumbing you down because they know this, but you don't. So, hey, I'm one of the ones to tell you right now. If you didn't see the thing on YouTube, you should go see it. All you people that say you're so smart and intelligent and all that kind of stuff, go look it up if you think I'm lying. We have 12 chromosomes. You know, we have 3 more than they do, which makes us a superior race. You know, didn't God say we were His special people? Did He said we were like gods? Did He say itself in the Bible? You know, y'all don't understand the power that we have as a people. We have so much power and energy. It's it's it could overwhelm the earth itself. But y'all let these people lead y'all down these roads like sheep, take your power away from you, take your knowledge away from you, take your strength away from you, make you docile, you know, make you do things you shouldn't be doing with other people, you know, you know, and they make you feel good about it while they corrupt you. And you're so naive. You think in your mind, God, I was born this way. God, I feel this way. This couldn't have happened to me. This wouldn't have happened to just somebody who wanted to do that. And you don't understand that you're being manipulated from the birth canal in the womb, really, to the tomb. You're being manipulated. And these people, it's a game to them, but it's a serious game. It's a game of life and death. And you folks have to wake up to see what's going on, man. Because if you don't, you know, I, listen, I don't really like to knock anybody, but what do y'all get out of gossip? I mean, honestly, so you can sit back and go, ooh, ooh. Why? Why do you even care what another person do in their life? That is so frivolous and so petty and so I can understand scandals here and there, but the gossip and you get into these little tit for tats and you know what I'm saying? Especially our people. Y'all feed off of this shit, and I don't understand why, because it don't get us nowhere. Want to be a comedian? Go get on stage and make motherfuckers laugh and get paid for it. Other than that, I don't see the sense. And you do it, and then you get into all this reality TV bullshit. Come on, folks. Give me a break on that. You know that reality TV shit. That come on, man. That's just some bullshit. There. That's just some bullshit. You know, because all them people doing is acting, and you people take it serious, get all involved in it. Then when they have them shows, well, they get involved in it too. It show you how deep it goes. And when they have those like reunion shows or whatever the hell they call that shit, you know, people get up there and fight. Now they dress to kill. They look like queens, beautiful garments and gowns and jewelry and all that shit on. But this is what you hear. Oh, this bitch did that, and she went behind my back and told somebody she did, and I ain't like that. If you and get up and get crazy and get stupid and get silly, and they get hundreds of millions of views. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. Ought to be ashamed of yourself. Like I said, a good scandal every now and then, that don't hurt nothing. But to get all off into this stuff and this reality TV and stuff, don't you know it's just a ploy to keep you distracted from the things they're doing to you? Don't you know that? Come on, you know. I usually save this kind of stuff for my show. But sometimes I feel like I have to get it out. Like I said, even though I sit here and smoke weed, it's not a mindless thing. Okay, I'm not a mindless individual. Just sits around and smoke weed, and my mind blown. Sometimes I can't put two and two together. You know, and that's what people want you to think. Because I told you before, this is for enlightenment, and not only that, like I said, it's a whole different plethora of things. Okay, and I'm not gonna go through that again, but it just goes to show you the scheming that people do, even people of your own color. That makes it even worse. Of your own skin color, because they ain't our people. But they would sell you out, man, for little or nothing, for free, half the time, just to see you go. And you think, what elites have you seen get out there and ask people to stop fighting each other? See Will Smith do it? I don't think I've seen it. You see anybody do it? Anybody that's never seen Oprah do it? And you know why you're not gonna see any of these people do it? Because all of them are in the pockets of the elite. And if you make a wrong move, that's your ass, bro. Look what they did to Nick Cannon. And he didn't even do shit. He didn't even do shit. And they damn near ruined that man's career. He had a little gumption to stand up for himself in the end with our help, which he still ain't thanked us yet. See what I'm saying? Motherfucker get in the kitchen, they get hot, they get to running, and especially if we stand behind them, they always cross us out, man. Oh, and another thing, I want to bring up this Kevin Samuels guy. Listen, what he doing? Y'all asked for it. Y'all asked for it. So don't get on there and like I saw people trying to petition him off the show and all that kind of shit. Y'all asked for that. Y'all treat each other like crap. Black men, you treat black women like crap. Black women, you treat black men like crap. What did you expect? You didn't expect for somebody to come up there and play the middle. See how naive you are? Any fool could do what he's doing because you left the door wide open for that. I could sit up here and I could change my whole format and do what he's doing to get those kind of views. Sit up there with his little ugly self in a tie, and he wants to have the nerve to call somebody a high value or low value. See how y'all feed into that bullshit? There's no such thing as a high value man or a high value woman. That's a bunch of bullshit that people make up to try to make you feel good, try to make certain people that's on the upper echelon feel good about themselves and make the lower echelon, or the lower class, feel like dirt. And you folks ain't figured out. You feed into it. And I want to say, OJ, Duke Jackson, I love your show, man. But you're almost as bad as he is. Quit looking at women like they're some type of engine that needs to be fixed, and you the mechanic. Fix yourself, bro. And I tell that to any brother. A good woman, a good man attracts a good woman. They attract the bad ones too. But a smart man has enough sense to know the difference. Okay, if you all getting all twisted up in asses and titties and what they look like, then you the fool. That you didn't stop long enough to see what this person was about. They go for the men and the women. So when you get a person like a Kevin Samuels, y'all ordered him. You special ordered that motherfucker. It was like, hey, we looking for Kevin Samuels. Put him right there in the middle to make a fool out of both sides. And that's exactly what he's doing. And y'all keep feeding into it. And I say, you know what? My hat's off to the brother. Because he was smart enough to see y'all ignorance. So, I mean, I don't agree with nothing he say. Okay, I don't agree with nothing he say. And he do have some points. I've listened to him. He even had a spat with my wife on there and shit. But y'all ordered him. Special delivery. So, eat up before it gets cold. Because all you have to do is just cut them off. That's all you have to do is cut them off. But you don't want to cut them off because you love that shit. You see what I'm saying? Y'all love that shit. You love that gossip and them cussing out disrespecting women. And, y'all, I don't know what to say about our race sometimes. I love my race to death, but I don't know what to say. Y'all be tripping. What about the other dude? I can't think of his name. He was sort of like Kevin Samuels. He gets busted because he couldn't keep his dick in his pants, you know, and had it made. But it just goes to show you, because it's stupid, man. If you even, okay, like me and my friend country talk about, it is hard for a man to not desire other women. It is. And, I mean, black women ain't gonna settle for no kind of shit like that. But I kind of wish they would. And it's not for my own gratification. It's just, I think if you go through history, you know, especially through African history, most of the men had more than one wife anyway. It's in our culture. It's in our DNA. We're made to procreate. We made, So, I mean, if we want to settle for one woman, I think that's a good thing to do. But you're never going to stop black men from having sex because, for one thing, there's like 5 women to every man. So that's 4 lonely women that one man can make 1 or 2 of them feel about much better and have a wife at home. I mean, that's a lot to handle. I wouldn't want to do it, but I'm saying I can understand, why there needs to be sometimes more than one woman in the house. And I know women, y'all think, you should know man won't. nothing but you. But let me give you a scenario. Say if you and your man work all the time and you always tired and he wants sex and you don't want sex and if you do it, you want to hurry up and rush him through it. It's a chore. You know what I'm saying? And it's really not enjoyable for either one of you because for one thing, you rushing him because you want to get some sleep or you want to do whatever you want to do. He's frustrated because she's the woman, you're the woman that he loves, and if he's making love to her, if he's making want to make love, you're the person he wants to make love to. He doesn't get that in reciprocation. What do you think men going to do? What do you think they're going to do? Hit a back talk. Because I'm doing my show, but what do you think you're going to do? This is way over. So let me wait this week to get out here. Getting commercials and everything, folks. But it just led me to speak about that. I'll touch on it another time. So let's get through this weed. Because I spend way too much time talking about that. I act like I'm on my podcast show. Okay, I haven't even finished the joint, but the weed is good. It's strong, goes down good. Make you cough. I like it. Good taste, good smell, good aroma, full body taste. I like it a lot. I'm sorry about getting off into that, folks. But when I get to thinking about stuff, it makes me think about other things. But just to end that conversation, quit watching that stuff, y'all. I know it's entertaining. Come watch me. I'm entertaining. I ain't got all the drama, but I'm entertaining. I'm not that hard on the eyes. I hope I'm not. I have a little knowledge. I'm nice and friendly, but I know I don't have gossip, and I know when countries here we have a bunch of fun, but I try to have fun with us here, just us together too. Smoking my weed, talking my shit. This is what I do. So I'm gonna put that out because this video that went way too long. I gotta put this weed up, and I didn't put it in my can. Excuse me. It'll take just a minute, folks. I'm gonna dump it in this can, and we're gonna score it. And I'm gonna let y'all go because I didn't know this was. Wow, 41 minutes. I didn't know it was that long. I am very sorry for that. Okay, so get to the nitty gritty. Okay, smell is excellent. I love the way it smells. It's more of a fruity smell. I like that, nice and sweet. I'm gonna get a smell in 9. Taste wise, great taste. I don't know what to compare it to. It's a really great taste. It's really good. Goes down smooth, but it's got a kick. I also get that a 9. Flavor, great flavor. I love it. Tastes through and through. It's just a nice, mellow taste. I can't say it's really sweet to the taste, but it does leave a nice, smooth aftertaste in your mouth. So for that, I'm gonna give that a 9 as well. Texture, it's my kind of texture. Exactly how I like it. Giving that a 10. It's gonna be a high one. Buzz or high. It's not a buzz, it's a high one straight to my head. I'm gonna give that a 8. Point of peak. Shit, I can say the first toke. The first toke had me coughing. So point of peak, it's gonna be probably one of my highest point of peaks. I'm gonna give it I wanna say 10, but I'm gonna give it a 9. Accessibility. Okay, now it's a lot of this out there. Okay, I know for a fact people I get it from. There's a lot of it out there you will find. You ask by name because they pushing it hard. They got a lot of it. So accessibility is at a 10. Quality, 10. Just gonna get a quality 10. That's really nothing I can say bad about the quality. Got a good taste, good smell, good aroma, good texture, good color. There's nothing I can say about it. Potency. I want so bad to give this potency a 10 because it really is. You know what? I'm going to do it. It's rare that I give potencies a 10. But I'm going to give this potency a 10 because it started me off coughing right off the bat and it was strong. Coughability, wow. Wow. What can I give coughability? That was, every time I took a joke, I'm going to give it a 9. No, whoa, no. That's way too high. I think that's way too high. I'm gonna give it an 8. Yeah, I give it an 8. That might be being a little biased. It's just I don't know. Give comfortability to that. That is the first weed that I ever smoked that you just take one toke off of it and make you cough. And I'm still coughing. So I stay with the 8. I stay with the 8. I should give it a 9 or a 10, but I don't know. I I'm waiting on that super weed, so I am probably being a little biased by doing that. But you know, I think the 8 was good. Let's see what kind of score. Okay, so I gave the smell a 9. I gave the taste a 9. I gave the flavor a 9. I gave the texture a 10. Yeah, which it does deserve that. I gave Buzz a high 8. Toward the peak, I gave a 9. Accessibility, I gave it a 10 as well. Quality, I gave it a 10 as well. Potency, I gave it a 10. Wow, I didn't know I gave one. Okay, and comfortability, I gave it 8. And that's a 92, folks. Okay, wow, that's pretty good. So that's an excellent. So for this month, which is the last of the month, I don't know if this will be shown in September, but I'm gonna say August 2021. It'll probably be the last of August. So you actually may see this in September. Okay. I got quite a few shows scheduled to come on. Okay, so for today, August, the month of August 2021, our Wiz Khalifa gets a 92, folks. There's the score. We're gonna look at it. And would I buy it again? That's a definite yes. And I have to say, I highly recommend this weed. Highly recommend this weed. I don't know if this comes from Wiz Khalifa itself or is it just the name or whatever. But like I said, I had heard of the weed, and then I actually saw it on television a couple of times. On TV, it looked like it had more colors. But if this is what they say it is, I am thoroughly satisfied. I think it's really good weed. I highly recommend it. Go out and get you some. You won't regret it. So that's the end of that one, folks. So until next time and until we meet again, bye bye. Talk